This is my 2025 physical TBR. I could not be more terrified that these books are going to fall on me, so we're going to get into it. This is my 2025 physical TBR. What's not fun is having anxiety to film videos and immediately getting out of breath. Just because you're talking to a camera, you'd think I'd be used to this by now. I've been doing it for a year. We're going to start off with a book that I recently just got. This is called Fire and Sword by Simon Scarrow. This is a historical fiction. I do not know much about this at all, except for it is set in 1804 during the Neapolitan era, so that's going to be interesting. And I do have another book which I'm about to show you that is based in the same era. I think this might be the first book in that duology, I don't know. Next book we have is a classic that I'm to get to. This is one of the, I only have now, I think it's like 3 classics to read of my collection, and then I'm done, which I'm really happy with. Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. I do really want to get to this because I find Jane Austen to be quite a comforting read, to be honest, because my mum used to read her books all the time and we used to watch her films, so I'm excited to read this. I have this beautiful mass copy edition with this stunning painting on the front. I absolutely love it. The print of this book is absolutely tiny, but nevertheless I'm going to read it. Now we have a reread which I want to do, and that is My Grandmother Sends Her Regards and Apologizes by Frederick Backman. This is a 5-star book for me, and I only got to page like 20, here we are, 24, with a beautiful flattened leaf as a bookmark. Only got to page 24 of this, and I do really want to finish it because this will really help me get out of some kind of mental slump that I've been in, and I know that this will help once I have finished Going Home by Harriet Evans, so I'm excited to read this. Now we have possibly the second book in that duology. This one is The Generals. This might actually be the first one. Neapolitan in Egypt, Wellington in India, an epic struggle for supremacy has begun. It sounds really interesting to me because I'm a big nerd, and I am excited to get to these books. So never heard of them before, never heard of Simon Scarrow, so this could be like a really good start, a fresh new start for me. Now we have The Count of Monte Cristo. You don't really need much of an introduction to this book, except for the fact that it is over 1,000 pages. How many pages is it exactly? 1,243 pages. It's a big chunker, and I do want to read this, of course. This is a classic, and I think I could learn a lot from Alexandra Dumas, who wrote this. So, another book of my 2025 TBR. I hope I said 2025 in my intro and not 2024. Now I'm starting to worry about that. We have Saving Six by Chloe Walsh. I've read Binding 13 and Keeping 13, and I did really enjoy those. I enjoyed Binding 13 more than Keeping 13 because Keeping 13 focuses a lot more on the physical aspect of, oh, what are their names? It's Sharon and Johnny. There we are. I was thinking, what was it that Johnny said? Sharon like the river. That's what I was thinking. That's how I remembered. So, this is Aoife and whose journey? And Joey. So this is Aoife and Joey's journey, which I am really excited about to read this. This might be the next book that I read because I find Chloe Walsh's books such a quick read for me. Like, I read them within a few days, sometimes a full day, so very looking forward to this. Now, following that, we have Redeeming Six by Chloe Walsh. This is an especially floppy book, and I can't wait to read this one. Very excited for her books. I don't have Saving Seven. I can't remember what the last one's called, but I don't have that book yet. Depending on how Saving Six and Redeeming Six goes, I'll let you know if I buy the 7th one. Now we have The Year of the Locust by Terry Haynes. I have no idea what this is about. The Guardian says, with vivid description, some terrific action sequences, lashings of suspense, the book ticks all boxes necessary. Geopolitical thriller. Good grief, that was a mouthful. Ooh. If, like Kane, you're a denied access area spy for the CIA, then boundaries have no meaning. Your function is to go do whatever is required and get out again by whatever means necessary. You know when to run, when to hide, and when to shoot. That sounds really good. Ooh, I'm excited about this now. So this is also on my physical TBR. How many books are we at now? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. 8 books on my TBR so far. I have Troubled Blood by Robert Galbraith. I'm not going to go into this too much. It's just a book that I have been interested in reading. I know it's not the first in the series, but I picked up Troubled Blood ages ago in a shop, read it, found it interesting, and haven't bought it until now. So I'm going to read this and I'll see what I think. I'll see what I think. Now we have a book by Val McDermid, The Last Temptation. Again, I don't know what this is about. These are all very chunky books. I am drawn to thicker books because I feel like the story is more extensive for my liking, but I think I should start picking up smaller ones because that's probably an issue why I am struggling to finish the book that I'm on now. It's not that long, it's only like 400 and something pages, but I think because it's a romance, I'm finding it just too long for what it's about. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. A twisted killer targeting psychologists has left a grisly trail across Europe. Ooh. Daily Express says the real mistress of psychological gripping thrillers. Observer Val McDermid's best yet. This is essential reading. The Guardian, a masterful examination of evil. Sounds really good, so I also have this to read. Now we have some other books. This is The Wind of the Sea by Charlotte Bingham. This is a little fiction book. It is 1947, the worst winter in England. The worst winter in England since records began, and even the sea is frozen. The women living in the little fishing port of Bexham, the chronic lack of everything from fuel to food has left them reeling. Okay, that sounds very different, and this was a bestseller, so we will see what I think of this. I often like to pick up little books that are secondhand on eBay because they're books that no one really is talking about, and I think it keeps my reading interesting. Now we have Daniel Deronda by George Eliot. This looks really good to me. I've read the back multiple times and I've read it on this channel a few times as well. To say Deronda was romantic would be to misrepresent him, but under his calm and somewhat self-repressed exterior there was a fervour. Penguin classic. So, interested and enthralled to get to this. Now we have Journey's End by Josephine Cox. Like a ghost from the past, she walked along the platform towards them. Ooh, that sounds good. The font isn't that small either. How many pages is this? 360, so that might be a good little read for me to pick up sometime soon. This is the benefits of like going through your physical TBR. So, Journey's End. And now we have another book by Josephine Cox, The Beachcomber, another bestseller. In summer 1952, 2 people arrive in the pretty seaside hamlet of West Bay, Dorset, to start a new life. Sounds nice, sounds sweet. This one's longer. This one is 500 pages. I think because it's just taking you through someone's personal journey, I may not enjoy this as much because I find that a little bit jarring sometimes. But you never know, I may end up absolutely loving this book. Love and Laughter by Lillian Harry. Again, it's a historical fiction, a little book I picked up off eBay. Not that long, but oh my goodness, the font is tiny. That is tiny, so that would take me quite a while to read. But I'd say it's only been read maybe like once because it's still in really good condition, but the spine has been cracked. It looks good anyway. Yeah, I'm curious about it. And now we have The Goldfinch. This is a reread for me. I've already read this, but I want to annotate this. It's a book, honestly, that I found fascinating the moment I picked it up. and since I've read it, I never stopped thinking about this book, and I think it's absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait to go through this again. I even picked out my tabs to go with the cover. Like, how perfect is that? So if you want to see me annotate and read this entire book in a vlog, let me know and I will do that for you. Now we have another secondhand book, Maggie Bennett, For Love of Lily. To be honest, this actually looks quite nice. Lily, you're the difference between life and death. It sounds quite sweet. Attractive, clever and willful Lily Knowles is desperate to leave home. So at 21 she escapes London to train as a nurse, where she gathers many admirers, none more dashing than RAF officer Sandy Redfern, with whom she falls in love. That sounds nice. Again, the font is quite small and it's a 500-page book, so we'll see how we get on with that one as well. And I started reading this. This is The Keys to the Streets by Ruth Rendell. This is a very atmospheric read so far, and I don't really know what to expect from this, except for the fact that I am enjoying the 4 pages that I have read. So I can't really tell you much from that, except for what I have read is really intriguing, and I did annotate a little bit. Let me show you my style annotations. If this is interesting to you, then make sure you subscribe, because I do a lot of this on my channel. Now we have Earthsea by Ursula K. Le Guin. You know the gist. I'm still working my way through this book. I love it, and I do want to make some good progress and finish this year. If I don't finish this book, then that's ridiculous, but I'm a slow reader. I can't put too much pressure on myself. And again, I love this book. It's going brilliantly so far. We have the last 2 books, Death Wears a Golden Clock by Andy Maslin. Crime thriller, looks excellent. Church of Sweden priest finds a young woman lying dead on the altar. She's wearing her wedding dress and bears no sign of violence. Now working full-time in Sweden, after threats against her remaining family forced her to leave Britain, D.I. Stella Cole must find the serial killer before he claims more lives. This is very interesting, and it's a lovely floppy paperback edition. I love this. And another one by Andy Maslin is Hit and Done, and this is, I think, the last book in this series. I don't tend to read the books in order, which is probably very annoying to some of you, but I'm sorry. I just pick up secondhand books when I see them. This might be a duology, to be honest, because these were both in the secondhand bookshop together. So I think it's highly unlikely that someone would give away only specific books in the series and not the whole thing. So I'm kind of hoping that it's a duology, but I very much could be wrong. Anyway, I love these books. They're gorgeous. So now we're going to count how many books I have for my physical TBR. 21 books on my 2025 TBR. That is absolutely doable. So doable for me to read these. Will I be buying more books this year? Absolutely. I don't know how many. Probably not as many as this, as I have a small budget, but we will see. That's that. I hope you enjoyed this video. That is my entire physical TBR, and if you want to see me annotate and complete these entire books in videos, then make sure you comment down below and tell me what you want to see from me. And that's it. I love you a lot, and I will see you in my next video.